Welcome once again to your update from the City of New Hope, recording on March 3rd with the Mayor, John Elder. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
I'm fantastic, Dave. How are you?
I am very good. We have a lot to talk about today, a lot going on in
We
the
do.
city, but let's take a look back to last week. It was a busy week of meetings at the city, and the meeting started with some commission interviews. Tell us about that process and the great outcome.
We continue to get quality residents who want to stay active in their community. And we had two people apply for commission interview for commission spots on
Mhm.
the Human Rights Commission. Both of the two applicants have really strong backgrounds and experience. So we're excited to have them come in. We voted to appoint them, and we're excited to see what they are able to bring to an already very active commission.
Congratulations to them. This activity all took place on the 24th. So, following those interviews, it was the council meeting and quite a few decisions made there. Give us a brief highlight of some of the main points.
Yep, a lot of the stuff ends up going on consent agenda. And these are things that we've talked at previous work sessions and things that the council is fully in the loop about. We awarded a contract to Allied Blacktop for street sweeping services for 2025.
Mhm.
Very mundane thing. Nothing real glitzy about this, but we need to keep our streets clean. And so Allied Blacktop has serviced the city of New Hope for a number of years, and out at bids, they came in lowest responsible bidder. And so we're continuing on with them, happy with the services they do. New Hope does have one street sweeping machine. However, it would be near impossible to get the entire city done
Mhm.
in a timely manner. So it's more cost effective for us to go outside and do that.
Very good. And again, end of the winter season, we hope. So, all of that sand and salt may be done. We'll see. But again, getting ahead of that so it doesn't go down into the waterways, I would guess.
Yep, yep.
And
We're
then we have
also
street marking. Tell us a little bit more about that.
absolutely through Warning Lights, another company. We are using them for street painting and marking services, and they're the ones that put the street lines down and do a wonderful job. Again, work with them for a number of years, and really a good company to work with. So we're excited that they did put in a bid, and they were able to be selected for our services for paint striping and marking.
We had talked in past weeks about the monument sign in the works in the city. Give us a little update of what was discussed at the February council meeting.
Yep, they brought forward plans, and they brought forward the request to do plans and specifications for the city monument side. Again, this is going to be for westbound traffic on 42nd Avenue North. Just what I'm sorry, yeah, strike that. It's eastbound 42nd Avenue
Okay,
North,
got it.
just east of Highway 169, and it will be a large sign that says New Hope. It will have rock and other decorative features to it. So we're looking forward to having that up. And the engineer's estimate is coming in below what the money budgeted for it is, as
Mhm.
well as we can use some state aid funding for that. So we're excited to be able to get this done and put in place. My concern with it was, are we worried about light pollution with residences so close by? And they will be doing some shading to the south of it to ensure that, we're not lighting up people's homes needlessly.
Sure, understand. Two final notes from the council meeting on February 24th. Elevate Hennepin and city manager goals. Give us a recap of those items.
Yeah, the Elevate Hennepin is a division of Hennepin County where they work to support small businesses. And last year, small businesses in New Hope used 186 hours of service out of Elevate Hennepin, and they're doing so at a reduced rate. And so we authorized a 2-year extension of this. And these services can be business plans. This can be helping them better do advertising. It may be the back end, the books, and that stuff. So it's really a great way to support our local businesses while being able to save them some money and keep them prosperous in our city.
Mhm. And then the city manager goals, again, final look at those, I take it.
Yep. And the interesting thing about it is people think that as mayor and council, you're running the entire city, when in fact we're not. We provide budget, we provide direction, we provide goals. And the only employee that the city council and mayor has say over is the city manager.
Mhm.
So, if somebody were to call me and say, I want so and so fired from Public Works, um, I don't have the ability to do that. The council
Mhm.
doesn't have the ability to do that.
Right.
City manager does. So we set for him his goals for 2025. Reese is entering his second year with us here in New Hope, Reese Berthoff, and he's knocked it out of the park the first 2 years. Having Kirk McDonald, our previous city manager, leave, those were going to be big shoes to fill.
Mhm.
And Reese is doing just a remarkable job. We are so blessed to have him, and he works very, very hard for the council as well as all of his staff and the residents, businesses, and visitors. So we're excited to keep him on board. He has goals that we've set and put forward, and it keeps everybody on the same page.
Final piece to wrap up from the evening of the 24th is the EDA, and they were dealing with a lot related to scattered site, I take it. So you've got some housing news for us.
Yeah, it's really, really active. And what the scattered site program is that we buy dilapidated properties and we either rehab them, but more often we raise the house, prepare the lot, and sell it to a builder.
Mhm.
The builder comes in and then builds a beautiful home and then sells it themselves. We've been having homes go for routinely over $500,000.
Mhm.
And so this is great. This has been a great relationship between builders and the city and builders in the community. And New Hope is in such a stellar location. You're close to absolutely everything, whether it's the airport, the Excel Center, either of the downtowns. You're really in the heart of the metro, and so a lot of people want to be here in this community, as well as all the things that the community and the city is doing right.
Mhm.
So we're finding that most of these homes are sold before they're even finished. So it's great. Our first two homes, the first two lots were uh, authorized to be sold to Exceptional Homes and Remodeling. They have not been a part of our group of builders previously, and they truly build incredible homes. Um, and we're excited to have them in our city as part of this program. They send it out to 18 builders, and maybe a half a dozen sent us in proposals.
Mhm.
So our community development goes through all of the proposals, looks at all of that, and then moves forward with a recommendation to council. Our next home at 5410 Zealand was sold to Fortis Builders, and they've done homes for us in the past and also build a good home. And so we'll be doing some closings on those three properties, and homes will start in the spring. So a great way to beautify neighborhoods. We're also seeing that when we're doing these homes, people around those homes are upkeeping their property better. They're taking more pride in ownership. And
Mhm.
that's, of course, not everybody, but it's been great. So we're excited about that.
So that wraps up what happened on the 24th. And again, looking ahead, Planning Commission meeting on March 4th and the next council meeting on the 10th. We'll tell you more about those the next time we get together. Now let's go to some other things happening within the city and in community development. We've got some pretty pictures for you to look at here. This is the Ritz Banquet Hall. Tell us, Mayor, where this is and what has happened in this beautiful space.
Absolutely. This is right across from St. Therese, and it is at 8001 Bass Lake Road. It's been completed. They're doing some small fire code adjustments, and they will then be getting a certificate for occupancy. I have been through this. It's a beautiful place, and very excited to have this here in New Hope.
So for more information, look up Ritz Banquet Hall. You can find out how you can maybe get involved there. Let's go ahead to community development and their connection with the business community, and that is their networking group. They're coming up with a meeting here this week. So if you're watching this early in the week, you might still get in there. Where is that meeting?
That meeting is hosted by Dr. Stallo from the superintendent for Robbinsdale School District 281, and that's at 4148 Winnetka Avenue North. That's March 5th at 2 p.m. So I will certainly be there. This is a group of business owners from New Hope and Crystal, and they work hand in hand on projects and helping each other survive and thrive.
Well, people can stop by and see that. Next to the police department, one update item here, and that is on the calls from the recent week. Give us that recap.
Yep, this was from February 20th to the 26th, and that was a very nice week weather-wise.
Hmm?
And we ended up having 439 police-related calls in the city. Again, a little bit higher than what we would have expected for that particular week historically. Weather certainly plays an impact on that. People were cooped up prior to that in sub-zero temperatures, and so people wanted to get out. We had more medicals and things like that. So we're uh, we're looking forward to spring.
Another department that's affected by the weather is Public Works, and they are looking ahead to spring as well with not too much snow. They've turned their eyes already to something else. Tell us about their upcoming work.
Yeah, with spring likely comes an awful lot of rain. And whereas we're not going to have to deal with the snow melt, at least not at this point,
Hmm.
we'll see what Tuesday night into Wednesday brings. But they've been out cleaning catch basins, and they've been doing stormwater uh, basin and outfall inspections. When all that rain comes, we have to be able to move it from the streets and get it to where it needs to go. So they're not backing up from clutter
Hmm.
and going into people's yards and homes. So that is incredibly important. We also had a number of frozen things, like we had a frozen fire hydrant on International Parkway
Hmm.
and frozen storm sewers, 46th and a half in Xylon, as well as 48th in Decatur. So we
Okay.
really, really need to be ready for what's coming.
That crew is busy with those things, also busy with the world of organics, and a lot of talk about this recently for all cities in Hennepin County. What can you tell us about the discussion here?
Well, when the state legislature passed the Organics Recycling Act, it said that every single resident would pay for organics recycling, whether they participated or not. And unfortunately, that was poorly communicated. So now people are getting their trash bills, and all of a sudden, organics recycling is on there. And that flooded our city hall with calls.
Hmm.
This is not something that we had any part of. We didn't have a say in it. And this got passed, and now everybody's paying for it. And there is a cap on everybody, what each of the haulers could charge. And most of them were at that cap, but then they added in fuel service charges and all these miscellaneous charges. Well, we looked at solid source garbage hauling a few years ago, and a, a very large section of the city was not interested in that. So we looked at what other cities in Hennepin County were doing with organics collection, and we decided that a single source organics collection could be a very good thing in saving the city money, the residents money. That we're locking in rates which are considerably lower than the haulers are charging. And when we have 5,000 households in New Hope alone, we are able to negotiate a much lower price.
Hmm.
So we're going to be going to this spring single source organics hauling,
Okay.
and people will have to sign up with that particular company. And again, I think this is going to be a savings for residents, but it
And
will not impact trash.
very
People
good.
can still have their own trash hauler.
Good to know. And more information on that, certainly on the city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more there. Also, about this next item, let's head into Park and Recreation and talk a little bit about some of the new classes that are coming up. What's the list that people can get involved in?
Boy, I'll tell you, last week they started paint blast off paint bombs. So
Okay.
uh, a paintball type thing.
Hmm.
Safe at home program, Little Tigers, martial arts, taekwondo, Hy-Vee freezer meal workshop, um, and a wine and paint party at the golf course. We are starting new classes this week, which include Rev Sports basketball, pickleball, and volleyball. And I will tell you, residents have been clamoring to get more pickleball.
Hmm.
And so we're very excited about that.
All right, many ways to get involved in the activities. Here's another active group. The dance group is out and about again doing some competing. Understand they were out this weekend, not so far away in the metro area competing.
Yeah, they were at the Chanhassen High School participating, competing in energy dance competition. The dancers had an absolute ball, represented New Hope beautifully, and again, just another successful event that our dancers got to be a part of.
Another chance to talk about the weather here in Park and Rec, and as it relates to ice and ice in the rinks, doesn't go too well with 50 degrees, does it, Mayor?
Thankfully, no. At least thankfully for the 50 degrees,
Right.
unfortunate for the ice. As of last Tuesday, our city ice rinks closed, our warming houses closed, and our public works and parks and rec teams are out there cleaning up debris and other things in that area of each of those. And we'll be ready for it next late fall or hopefully next winter.
That's right. Let's see. Let's talk about the farmers market for a second. A lot of excitement around this. What's happening now as they start to get ready for an exciting season?
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So excited to have this coming back to town. They are taking vendor applications, and we're working with a number of other farmers markets to get their vendors, their successful vendors that aren't already booked on a Thursday afternoon to come over and vend at the New Hope Market. And they've had a great deal of luck with that. And so they will continue to move forward with that and be able to provide a really high quality market for our residents and visitors.
And as you stop by the market when it gets going later on this year, you probably see this sign. It is Minnesota grown member. So obviously an achievement that those behind the market have worked for and now is there.
Yeah, you have to be accepted into this association, and this is kind of the premier market association for municipalities. And we were able to get into this. It is an incredible resource. You get to know the managers and leaders of all of the other markets, and boy, you learn from them, especially with us starting it back up again with new teams.
Mhm.
We are grateful to them, number one, for taking us on, and number two, for the relationships and connections it's brought us. It's gonna let us have a much better market.
And again, more information on the market as it gets into gear is newhopemn.gov is the city's website. One final note in Park and Rec to pass along as we wrap up today, and that is the ice is great inside at the New Hope Arena. So great, in fact, that it was overbooked, so busy that some things had to be taken out.
It's got to be tough for these places, our golf course and our ice arena, to be able to juggle all the different balls they have in the
Yeah.
air. And New Hope having a 9-hole golf course, par 3 golf course, it's perfect for events, for the people that want to get out and swing stick, but aren't real serious golfers,
Sure.
all the way up to the people that are great golfers.
Hmm.
And to be able to get these events in, yet still allow people to play regular rounds. They're working diligently to please everybody.
You bet.
Hockey arena is absolutely no different. This past weekend, we hosted the Minnesota Bantam A East Regional Tournament here, and that brought in people from across the state. And unfortunately, that meant we had to close off open skating for the
Hmm.
weekend.
Right.
But people have been good about it, and we continue to pull in really high quality tournaments. There's one tournament, actually, there's a couple of tournaments throughout the year that every NHL team has a scout at
Hmm.
because it's that levels of players. And that bodes well for us and speaks highly of our arena as well as our staff that keep it up and running day in and day out. It's a great place and truly a jewel in the crown of New Hope.
A lot going on in the city, as always. Mayor, thanks so much again for the update today. The look back at the last council meeting. And again, next week we'll look ahead at some of the activities happening in the city. Stay with us. Here's a look at some other things happening in the community. Mayor Elder, thanks for your time. Have a great week. We'll see you next
Dave,
week.
Dave, thank you. Bye bye.
For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.